So I make fun of Indian guys, but the truth is they're great guys. Good fathers, great husbands, great providers. You'll never see them dunking a basketball. But they all bought Google at the right time. No, not my husband. No, my husband bought Dell. Because, who needs money? And the Indian aunties are not off the hook. No. Kids here think they have it bad. They complain about things like, they're like, oh, I grew up in a rough neighborhood. Greenwich. I didn't belong. She was mean to me. What, do you know where I grew up? In India. With Indian people. I wish I had white bullies. I had scary Indian aunties. This used to be my birthday. Come, beta. Pinching cheeks until the blood clots. Who is 16 today? And fat? And single? Happy birthday! And it's not like I could say to her, who is 58 today? And fatter than me? But I didn't want to die. And now that I'm an Indian auntie, by the way, shout out to all my Indian aunties. Out here, online, at home, because of you guys, I'm here today. So my aunties will understand this, right? When we hang out at dinner parties, the kids all assume we're talking about them. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the one auntie who wasn't invited. And the kids here are so delicate. My 16-year-old son, so handsome. He recently asked me, he's like, Mom, are you proud of me? I was like, proud of you? Why? And he goes, because I get good grades. I said, you get good grades because we make you study. We get you tutors. We feed you almonds. You should be proud of us. You're an Indian kid who gets good grades. That's like a Russian mom being proud that her kid is a figure skater. Right now, the best I can give you is that I'm not embarrassed by you. And these kids, they have no street smarts. Like, they come to me for help with their homework, and I'm like, I don't know anything, Google it. And then he'll be like, Mom, but I have to show the work. My math teacher wants to see the work. I'm like, okay, Google fake work. And my daughter, little Miss Stanford, overheard this interaction once. And she's like, Mom, how is it that you went to law school and you don't know anything? I said, I do know something. You have a right to remain silent. Use it. The truth is that my youngest, my third, is actually the smartest of my three. I just don't have the heart to break it to him that by the time he goes to college, there's going to be no money left. I mean, I drop hints. I tell him, I'm like, you know what's a great university? DeVry. And my husband, he thinks he's a comedian now. He's like, by the time he goes to college, we're going to have no money left. You know what's a great place to retire? Flushing. No, so I've been married, a long time, and people ask me, what's the secret to my long marriage? We have a secret. It's that we have an understanding. If we separate, he has to take the kids. But I have to keep his mother. So what's the point? And sometimes we fight. I tell him, go take the kids. One has a tennis tournament and another has a chess game at the same time. Figure that out, Mr. Logic Man. And one has a peanut allergy. I'm not telling you which one. You know, I get asked if I was arranged. I wasn't, but my sister was. And sometimes I'm jealous because she has a 15,000 square foot house, a private plane, true story, and a dead mother-in-law. You know, the funny thing about arranged marriages is that they almost always seem to work out. Like my friend Kanika likes to tell her story. She's like, you think your mother-in-law is bad. So it turns out that 20 years ago when she was getting arranged, her husband didn't want to marry her. He didn't like her. But his mother put her foot down. And she said, no, you can't back out now. This match is made. We rented the elephant. But in a few years, if you still don't like the girl, you can always set her on fire. Oh, relax. They learn to love each other. It even became an inside joke. You know, they argue like all couples, and he says, shall I get the matches? And she says, first you'll have to find the kitchen. So I met my husband online 25 years ago. Yeah, not the way you guys meet today. Like, nobody asked you up. Nobody asked what are your hobbies and passions. Like, if he has a job, there should be no passions. Back then, there were only 2 genders to choose from. And if somebody asked, what's my orientation? I said, my apartment faces south. One time, somebody asked me if I was bi-curious. I said, what are you buying? I'm curious. We were so naive, we acted as if there was a matchmaker, even though there wasn't. Like, he asked me if I could cook. I said, can you show me your tax returns? He said, can you bring some dowry? I said, can I interest you in some Bed Bath & Beyond coupons? So in a way, we arranged ourselves, and that didn't go over well back home. Like, his mom was pissed off, my dad was upset. So, you know, match made in heaven. Neither side of the family spoke to the other side for a long time. We refer to that as the honeymoon period.